Max Verstappen has fired back intensely at Zak Brown's criticism regarding Red Bull's working conditions. The three-time world champion didn't mince his words while addressing the situation. It's no secret that there's been significant tension ever since McLaren's boss voiced his thoughts about Red Bull. Typically, these comments have drawn aggressive responses from Christian Horner and Helmut Marko. However, Verstappen chose a different and perhaps a more effective way to respond to his critics. But with the championship battle in the drivers' category being so tight this year, could we now be witnessing a verbal war between these two camps, each striving to win battles off the track? It's probably fair to say that Zak Brown isn't the most popular figure on the F1 grid. His words often seem targeted at issues outside his team's scope. In this case, it's Red Bull. Ever since the Austrian team breached the cost cap, Brown has been on their heels, even going as far as writing a personal letter to FIA President Ben Sulayem, pressing for a suitable penalty. Interestingly, even Toto Wolff, whose team suffered the most from Red Bull's breach, did not take such a step. At that time, McLaren wasn't competing at the top, but now that they are in a position where they could lose the Constructors' Championship, all eyes are on Norris to perform exceptionally well and secure the driver's title. Recently, Zak Brown claimed that Red Bull has become quite a toxic environment for both staff and drivers. According to him, this toxic culture was the main reason senior engineers decided to leave the team in search of a better working atmosphere. Before we delve into Verstappen's response, let's first understand exactly what Brown said about Red Bull. He certainly didn't hold back while describing the state of the Austrian team. Brown said, "Red Bull is a toxic environment right now, and there's more to come. The departure of some key figures is important because many people at Red Bull worked closely with them. I mentioned before that CVS was circulating. It happens all the time. But there is an increasing sense of unease." Brown also suggested that Red Bull's image could suffer with sponsors, as companies may scrutinize who they are associating themselves with, making it a complicated scenario. Not only did Brown dare to make such detailed comments about a rival team one he has no direct involvement with, especially when McLaren has its own battles to fight, but he also discussed Verstappen's status within the team. Brown said that, while Red Bull remains an excellent racing team, they are destabilized at the moment. He added that if the current situation continues, it could significantly impact Verstappen's future decisions about staying with the team. These statements from Brown did not sit well with most of the F1 media. Many believe it wasn't the right time for such comments, as McLaren should have been focused on their own objectives, optimizing performance for their upcoming race weekends. The team had already faced errors at Silverstone, Hungary, Canada, Spa, and even Monza, partly due to internal competition between Piastri and Norris. With so many areas needing McLaren's attention, Brown's decision to comment on a rival's issues feels like an unnecessary distraction. Perhaps it's an attempt to play mind games against Horner and Verstappen, but Verstappen clearly isn't having it. He firmly believes that Brown should focus on his own team, rather than using energy on matters beyond his control. In response to Brown's comments, Verstappen said, "People always make up different stories. I find it odd how they come up with some of these things, but it is what it is, it's part of the game. I've been in F1 for 10 years. And I'm not interested in wasting my time on these rumors. People should concentrate on their own teams. That applies to everyone, not just Brown, and that's exactly what I'm doing as well." Verstappen's reaction makes perfect sense given how tight the Drivers' Championship currently is. Norris, who at one point trailed by 78 points during the summer break, has a real chance of mounting one of the greatest comebacks. Brown's comments about the other team's performance could very well be an attempt to shake up Red Bull's stability. Furthermore, Horner shares the view that if McLaren hopes to win the drivers' title, since Red Bull has virtually conceded the Constructors' Championship, lacking two high-scoring drivers, they must have a flawless end to the season. As things stand, Norris needs to outperform Verstappen by more than 8 points in the remaining races to clinch the championship title, something he only managed once in 2024, during the Australian Grand Prix when Verstappen had to retire due to a brake failure. If we consider the most recent 4 races, Norris has won 2 of them, and momentum is definitely on his side. To make matters more intriguing, McLaren is bringing upgrades to Austin, just like Red Bull, in an effort to counteract any response from their Austrian rivals. Andrea Stella, who has been a more composed voice within McLaren, even disagreed with Brown's stance on driver priorities. From day one, the team principal emphasized the need to set clear priorities, recognizing Norris's potential shot at the driver's title. Nonetheless, that's all in the past, and Stella has highlighted that we shouldn't ignore McLaren's progress from 2023 and 2024. To bring these upgrades to Austin focus primarily on a new floor they've been holding back on for a while, McLaren must be fully confident in the potential performance improvements. Stella elaborated further, saying, "Honestly, whether or not we should push for upgrades for the rest of 2024 was on my mind right after Singapore. We have some developments in the pipeline, and when you see results on the track, you naturally want to proceed cautiously. But we also need to have faith in our process and trust that what we've done so far will continue to work well. I've said before, we've taken our time, made sure we've done our due diligence before delivering trackside, and this won't alter our plans." Despite all this, Brown's comments seem intended to unsettle Red Bull's situation. He's been involved in the sport long enough to understand the dynamics of a team headed towards potential decline. The departure of 3 key senior engineers has clearly worked in McLaren's favor. The internal pressure within Red Bull seems to be mounting, possibly affecting the team's stability. Whether or not people like Brown, there's no denying that Red Bull is beginning to lose its balance, especially when Verstappen's father, Jos, and Helmut Marko openly speculate on Max's future within the team in F1, indicating that things might not be well for the Austrian outfit. McLaren, on the other hand, will attempt to take full advantage of their strong driver lineup. But from Austin onwards, Red Bull plans to use a new front wing that provides more flexibility, similar to what McLaren and Mercedes have already adopted. Whether it will deliver the anticipated results remains to be seen. As it stands, McLaren has the momentum, and we are yet to find out if Red Bull can match it and take control. With all of this in mind, what do you think? Do Verstappen's remarks about Brown make sense? Should the McLaren boss focus more on his own team rather than others? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And once you're done, check out the next video on your screen for more F1 action. And that's it for today's video, folks. We hope you enjoyed diving into the latest updates on the brewing tension between Red Bull and McLaren, as well as all the behind-the-scenes drama that's shaping the future of Formula One. It's been a thrilling ride, and there's so much more ahead. If you've got thoughts on today's topic, whether you agree with Max Verstappen's stance or Zak Brown's bold comments, drop them in the comments section below. We love hearing your takes, especially on heated subjects like these, where everyone's perspective adds a new layer to the story. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel and lets us know you want more content like this. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest F1 drama, race recaps, and exclusive analysis. We have so much exciting content planned for you, whether it's race previews, predictions, or insights into the personalities that make this sport so incredible. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Finally, if you enjoyed this discussion, I've got some other videos I think you'll love. Click on the one that's appearing on your screen now to continue your F1 journey. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep your engines roaring.